Bless Squad, what's going on with y'all, man? It's your boy, Blessed Applesauce, to bless y'all with another video here on Blessed to Invest. And today I want to talk about how much house can I afford, how to properly save money, and how much money should I be saving to buy property. A lot of people are talking about the investment industry right now, specifically real estate, because real estate had this massive boom in 2022. And then all of a sudden in the summer, things started changing. The Fed started raising interest rates. Things were getting a little shaky in the market. Everybody was getting scared. Properties aren't really selling like they used to. And people are just kind of like sitting back trying to figure out what is going on with the market right now. Should I be buying? Should I be saving? Should I be waiting? What's going on? So in this video, we're going to talk about how much you should be saving for your investment property, because the game has changed and it's going to be continuing to change onward into 2023 and onward. So before getting into this video, make sure you spam the like button, and also sub down below for more content like this. So let's get into it. So first and foremost, how much should you save and how much can you save for a house? What is the correct number? This is going to be an interesting answer because it's going to depend on how much you are bringing in and how much you're making. But I have some numbers here breaking it down exactly what you need to do. First and foremost, you need a budget. If you haven't watched my budget video, make sure you go check that out. Budgeting is going to be the number one thing you need to figure out. You need to figure out how much money you are spending on a monthly basis, how much money you have available, and how much money you can save for a down payment on a property. So let's say you have $4,000. Let's say your expenses now, you're paying rent, you have a cable bill, you have a phone bill, you have a car loan, you have student loans, you have all these different things you are spending on a monthly basis. You need to write all these things down, figure it out how much you're spending and how much you have available after all these things are spent, available to save. Because buying a property, you're going to have a decent chunk of change saved up to purchase this property. The first thing you're going to need is money for a down payment. The second thing you're going to need is money for closing costs. Third is you're going to need money for inspection. And fourth thing, this is the one that a lot of people forget, money for moving in. A lot of people just set themselves up. Okay, oh, I got money for closing costs. Oh, I got money for down payment. Oh, I got through the inspection, but they forgot, oh, I need a couch and I need a couple of things for the house, and maybe this thing isn't working as properly as it should. Maybe I need to paint a little bit. Like, there's things that are just going to come up when you're purchasing a house that you need to be aware of. And a lot of things, they say the black swan effect, where it's these things that just come out of nowhere that you're not expecting, that you just need to be prepared for. So having some money aside just for those events is going to be very important. This brings me back to a story of mine. My aunt just purchased a property a couple of months ago, and then all of a sudden, it was a brand new property. All of a sudden, the plumbing just goes up $5,000 just off the top. Just purchased the property, put a down payment on, just moved in, and all of a sudden, you're paying $5,000 in plumbing. So just be aware of that. Put some money aside for issues that may come up as soon as you get to the property, because it is brand new. You're trying to figure these things out. So budget how much money you have available to save. So let's take the example. Let's say you have $1,000 to save. You're going to put $1,000 away every month. You're going to stash it away until you have enough money to purchase a property when you have all four of these things covered. And how do you figure out how much you need for a down payment? This is going to depend on what type of loan you want to get out. They do have the FHA loans and they have the conventional loans. With these loans, you're only going to need 3.5% of the loan. If you can get of the total property, if you can get more, that's going to be even better. The ideal number to get really is 20%, but I know in this market it's going to be a little bit difficult to do that for the average person. But if you can get 20% down of the total cost of the property, you're going to be golden. One reason you don't have to pay the PMI. This is the extra insurance that they're going to charge you for owning the property, because the bank's going to be like, okay, we took out this loan. We want to protect ourselves if somebody goes bankrupt or they foreclose and they can't afford the property. So they're going to charge you PMI on a monthly basis. But if you get over that 20% threshold, you won't have to worry about that. So target 20%, but if you can't, You just need 3.5% and you should be good. So for your mortgage, when you're calculating how much you're going to be spending on a monthly basis for your house, you need to figure out how much your mortgage payment is going to be. The number that they use as a key of thumb is 28%. 28% is the proper number of your total income. So let's say you're making $4,000 a month. 28% of $4,000 a month is going to be $1,100. So after you pay your mortgage, after you pay your gas and electric, after you pay your taxes and all the other things, maybe you have like some HOA fees and stuff like that, what you need to figure out is when you calculate your mortgage for the particular property you're buying, it needs to be $1,100 on a $4,000 a month income. That's exactly what you need because you don't want to exceed 28%, because that's when you're running into issues. You don't have enough money to save for other things that you may need. You don't have enough money. Maybe if your car breaks down or just situations that just happen. It's a good investment idea just to save for only to buy a property where everything included is only 28% of your income. On top of that, I recommend not having too many debts. Your debt ratio, your debt to income ratio needs to be about 36%. If your debt is higher than 36%, where on a monthly basis, this is on a $4,000 a month. If on a monthly basis, all the debt you're paying is over $1,400, that means you need to bring it down. It's too high. And I don't recommend you buying a property during this time if your debt is over 36% of your income. If that is the case, you need to get out of debt a little bit. If you have some student loans, pay them off. We do have the 10 grand that just came out. So use the 10 grand and try to bring those student loans down. Try to bring your car payment down. Try to bring credit cards down. I am going to make a video on how to get rid of debt fast. I did do a small video, but I do want to do a more in-depth video coming up. So that will be coming soon. But you're going to want to bring the debt ratio down a little bit. So when you do purchase this property, you are able to get in where you're only paying 28% for the property. And then your total debt of all that is only totaling 36% of total debts. On top of that, when you're getting a mortgage, when you're trying to figure out how much you can afford, your loan officer is also going to look at that because they're trying to figure out, is this a good deal for them? Are they giving you money that you can actually pay back? Because they're making an investment decision. If they give you $300,000, they need to make sure they can bring $300,000 back plus some interest on top of it. So maybe they're making 400, 500 over the next 30 years, 15, 30 years. And they need to make sure you can actually pay it back and they can actually make some money off of you. So if you're not able to have your debt lower than that, they're either going to reject the loan for you or they're going to give you an expensive interest rate. And you don't want that. You don't want that at all. On top of that, interest rates are going to be very important. Your credit score is going to have a big impact on your interest rate. So if you have a credit score above a 720 or higher, you're going to be golden. Anything above a 720, they're going to give you the best interest rates because you've shown that you can pay money back, you're good with money, and you're just financially responsible. The thing about credit scores, they don't show you how much money you have. You can be dead broke, but still pay money on your bills on time, which is still a good thing. But that's what they're looking for in your credit score, just the ability to pay money back and showing that you don't have any issues in your credit where you have a history of not paying money back, going bankrupt in certain situations, because that's going to scare loan officers. They're trying to make money and they're not trying to lose money. And you having a credit history where you have a whole bunch of delinquencies on your statements, you have a whole bunch of missed payments, they're going to be like, I don't want a loan to that person right there because I'm not going to get my money back. So beware of that. Clean your credit up and set yourself up where you have a clean credit. You don't have a lot of debt. You have a decent amount of savings. You want to save. So in this scenario, let's say for simple numbers, you have $100,000 property. You put 3.5% down. That's going to be $3,500. You're going to want to put $1,000 down for the inspection. And then you're going to want to put an extra $3,000 for the closing costs. So with that, that's going to be a little less than $10,000. And then on top of that, you want to have some money set aside for any extra expenses that may come up from the initial move-in. So on a $100,000 property, you're looking at a little less than 10 grand. So that's where your numbers are at, really. It's really going to vary based on the property that you're purchasing and how much you need extra. So you're going to have to run the numbers personally for you, but overall, that's how it's going to work. You're going to need your down payment costs. You're going to need your closing costs. You're going to need your inspection. That's going to run you about $1,000, pretty much, $1,000 or so. And then your initial cost for attic expenses. So if you have any questions for how much you need to save, let me know down in the comment section down below. I might even do some specific numbers for y'all. Maybe you have a property you're looking at that's 200,000, $500,000, and you're making $250,000 a year, and you need to figure out the numbers on that. Let me know that in the comment section down below. And you can also check out a calculator. There's mortgage loan calculators on the internet as well. Go check those out. But that's going to wrap it up. It's me, your boy. Blessed applesauce. Stay blessed. I'm going to see y'all next time on Blessed with Best.
Just to see tomorrow is a blessing. Stay prayed up is the message. Everything about a nigga blessed. Everything about a nigga blessed.